All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is 5 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter, and it is time for Chatter with Statter. Looks like we've got a couple folks hanging out in the Chatterbox right now. We've got Pussycat, we've got Rick, and we've got Darlene. Everybody's figured out by now, because Rick has posted it, that we are coming at you at 1080p. But if your Twitch is a little twitchy, use that little gear that's probably right around here, and you can downgrade your system so things are running smooth. All right, there. So we've got some Thanksgiving talk, it looks like, that are gonna happen. And Pussycat, I'm glad you're here, because I have got a couple updates for you. But before we do that, let's get the party started. Okay, love those green eyes of that black cat staring at ya. Yep, all right. So we definitely can talk about Thanksgiving meals and stuff today because, well, that's what we talk about here. Food, right? But before we talk about that, Pussycat, all right. So, how's Leo doing? Your cat. Your cat. That's right, your cat. Hey, Cindy Krause, good to see you in the house. You're right on time. We're just getting the party started. And I'm letting Pussycat know that Mr. Leo's getting way at home, feeling way at home these days. I went to my little room where I normally find him in his cubby hole, and he wasn't there. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird because, like, you know, it's chilly outside. It's dark. I thought he was in the house. Went about my business. Wandered into my bedroom, and who should I see cuddled up on a pile of blankies right by the window on top of my dresser? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo decided that the bedroom was way better place to stretch out. And so he got himself comfortable by the window. Then when he saw me come into the room, he made it clear that he wanted to figure out, he couldn't figure out how to look out the window because the curtain was in the way. So I gave him a little looky hole. And so, of course, he perched himself up on that little spot and hung out, snoozing and looking out the window just like an indoor cat would. But that's not all. So after I gave him some ear scritches and let him know it's fine, you're allowed to be here, a few hours later, well, actually many hours later, I go back into my bedroom because I'm going to go to bed at that point. Well, I'm a weirdo, and I actually don't make my bed when I get out of bed in the morning. I make my bed before I go to sleep because I do like smoothed out covers and everything. But usually when I get out of bed in the morning, I've got a cat, and so I don't want to, like, disturb him. Anyway, so I go into my bedroom, and who is on my bed? Who is on my bed cuddled up right next to my pillow? Oh my goodness. Yep. Mr. Leo again. Mr. Leo again. So I had to move him out of the way and, you know, get my bed all organized. And he got so impatient. He was so excited about cuddling, and he got so impatient and so possessive. He ended up trying to bite me because he wanted to grab me and he wanted me to stay, you know, but I was wandering around the bed straightening blankies. And yeah, he went and tried to bite my arm. And at that point I yelled at him, and then he ran out of the house. So, and this is the third time he's bit me. Now, I didn't tell you about the second time, all y'all. The second time he bit me, I was giving him ear scritches and he was really into it. And then, you know, sometimes cats, when they get into it, he got a little overexcited. He barely broke the skin the second time, but he did leave quite a bruise, actually. It didn't get infected or anything. And this third time, he didn't bite me at all. I was too quick for him, but he did attempt. And he did graze my skin, but there was no broken skin. And that's exactly it, Pussycat. He's moved in, and he got excited, and he wanted to get with the cuddling, and he would have if he just would have calmed down. But nope, he had to go acting like he wanted to bite me. And so then I yelled at him, because that's what I do. And So he'll get with the program. He understands. I know he understands that. Right, exactly. Your Oreo does that. He just loves to bite, but he wraps around your leg. Rough, rough kitty love, arm armor for the Mad Statter. Absolutely. And see, that's the thing. Wild feral cats. I've had another cat that was sort of like this, Big Poppy. Big Poppy didn't bite, but he swatted. And he would swat me so hard. I have literally had, they're very cute, actually. Very painful though, but I have literally had kitty paw print bruises because he would smack me so hard. And eventually he learned, you don't get pet after you, if he smacks me, he does not get pet. So I have faith that Leo will eventually learn. He just needs to chill. So Leo, his thing is biting. Big Poppy's was swatting. The problem with formerly feral cats or still semi-feral cats is, they bite and they smack for real. It's one thing when you've got a house cat that's just like, oh, I'm playing. But, it's another thing when it's just like these cats are used to fighting and capturing their own food. And when they hit, they mean it. And so he just hasn't learned to tone it down, man. Just chill, dude. And I know he has it in him to just chill, dude. Because look, he knows how to just chill, dude. Right? I know that he has it in him. And that's exactly right, Pussycat. Feral cats, they play rough. They don't quite understand yet that, that not everybody is as thick-skinned as them. And hey there, let's see here. Are you Clokey? Hey there, Clokey. Do I believe in Zodiac? I wouldn't say that I believe in the Zodiac, but I have been accused of people who, or I have been accused by people who think that I believe in the Zodiac because I have been able to peg their Zodiac symbol just after talking to them for a few minutes. So do I believe in it? I don't think I believe in it, but I guess I believe in it enough that I'm able to identify, like a fellow Gemini or whatever. And by the way, welcome to the chatter tonight. I'm Mad Statter. You're part of the Statterbox crew now that you've made your made your presence known there. And let's see here. Cindy Krause, you close your bedroom during the day since Oreo brought and lost a bird in there. Bird got away though. Yeah, see, that's yeah, Cindy, you might know what I'm talking. Yeah, that happens to me every once in a while as well, only it's usually not birds, it's usually rats. And then the rats, when they get away, they can hide for days. Luckily, when the birds come in the house, I usually catch them and then let them out my front door. As I've said before, I think some of my neighbors must think that I'm some kind of strange wizard that conjures birds out of thin air or something, because every once in a while I'll just open my door and let a bird go. And Darlene, yeah, your daughter, the veterinarian, saved a feral cat freezing outside by her clinic. And Starla gets a bit rough when you scratch her tummy. She gets overexcited and stimulated. Exactly. And I was scratching Leo's belly the first time that he bit my finger. And it was a combination, I think, of two things. Overstimulated on the stomach, but also my neighbor had just let off a firework right at that same time. It was all sort of a kerfuffle. So yeah. Definitely I have to watch Leo for the overstimulation, which is too bad because he really likes, now that he knows what it feels like to be ear scritched and cuddled, he really likes it. But then, you cross that line and it's okay, you are getting a little overworked up. And then he's like, yeah, but I want more. And then he, goes in for the bite. So yeah, I have to watch him very, very carefully. And let's see here. Andre, you had a cat that attacked moving feet under the covers. And yeah, totally. And love bite women, not me. He bit your mom and girlfriend at the time. Oh, wow. Harsh, dude. And eMusic, definitely hang out, BK. Do your homework. Super stoked you're here. And let's see here. Is there anybody else that I might have missed? You know, Darlene, did I say hello? I think I said hello to you at the very beginning. And let's see here. Oh, Thomas the Turtle's in the house. Hey, thank you for subscribing again, Thomas. Keeping your subscription up. Good to see you. And, all right, Cindy's bragging about her kitties and they bring their lizard or catch of the day. Mama Kitty seems to have an endless supply of baby mice. Yuck. You know, I had a cat that used to bring, whenever he would find like a rat's nest, he would bring the baby rats one by one every day. He'd bring a baby rat out to the yard, and then him and the other two cats would spend the whole entire day torturing the baby rat. And then as the day was over, that toy got broken, so to speak. And then the next day he'd have another one, and he would do it like 5 or 6 days in a row until I swear, like, the nest was emptied out. And it's like, okay, well, that toy chest is gone. Now I have to have to find him a new one. And let's see here, Pussycat. Oh, trust me, I will be giving Leo a little bit of time to acclimate, but once he gets yelled at, he just hightails it for the outside. And I haven't seen him today since the situation last night. I know he's safe. I'm really not that worried about him. And let's see here. It looks like we've got Serena BR. Yes, Serena BR. Hello. How you doing there? I'm Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. We're talking about cats right now because you see, I got this kitty cat who has adopted me. And he decided yesterday that my bedroom was a very good place for him to be. But he also tried to bite me when I wasn't willing to cuddle him as much as he wanted to be cuddled. And yeah, Darlene, I really do think he just needs to learn some manners, because I have absolutely yelled at him about things. Like, for instance, he knows not to spray in the house. Like, once or twice he sprayed in the house, and when I caught him doing that, I gave him a ration, and he now knows, nope, can't do that here. And, you know, slowly but surely, I think he's gonna get the rules of the roost. At least that's what I hope. And if he doesn't, well, I do have a cat carrier for him, and I know a good rescue that will happily take him in, because he does have the potential to be a very good house cat. Honestly, I think what's gonna have to happen is I'm gonna have to get him altered, because right now he still is intact, and I'm sure that plays a role in his strength and aggressiveness, as it were. And Tom's a turtle. I have 2 black cats too, Ashes and Dusty. They are the cats that lived here before Leo decided it was a good place to live as well. So Leo is my newest addition. I denied Leo. I denied him as my cat for several years now at this point. But he's hung around long enough, and my cats seem to get along with him well enough that it's like, fine, I guess you are mine now. So now he's mine. And yeah, Andre, exactly. I taught him not to spray in the house. So if I can teach him not to do that, I have all the hope and faith in the world that he'll chill out on the biting. Because that to me is a way more difficult instinct to curb in a cat, the spraying, that is. You know, biting can be, yeah, I feel very lucky about that, actually. And he's very lucky that he listened to me, because if he didn't listen to me, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He wouldn't even be allowed in the house, basically. So, so there you go. And Thomas, yeah, I am glad you don't live in Buffalo either. I saw a couple pictures of folks, or, you know, not folk. I just saw a couple pictures from Buffalo, I guess. And it really was frightening to me, because it's just like, you know, I mean, I jokingly said, I hope nobody has to go to, you know, I hope they don't expect you to go to work like that. But like, then it occurred to me, like, God, you know, if there's a medical emergency, there's no ambulance that's coming to your house. You know, I mean, you're stuck in there. I mean, you know, the streets are absolutely impassable. And I don't know, I kind of got a little bit scared. Just looking at the depth of the snow. I'm very glad you're not in Buffalo, New York either. And Let's see here. Oh, Rick, thank you so much for the reminder. All right, we've got some background music, going on. Our favorite fellow named Lono, and so don't forget, if you love Lono, subscribe to his YouTube page, and maybe go buy an album or two off of his website at lonomusic.com. He's only got digital downloads right now. I don't believe that the CDs are going to be coming back anymore. I believe that the CDs have been purchased by everyone and anyone, and so now the only way that you can get his music is digital download. And digital download is super easy to use. It's not even if you normally get your music through iTunes, you can transfer that music into iTunes. No, as we mentioned before, Lono does not use iTunes. He is self-produced and self-published and self-distributing his own music. So, yeah, Darlene, you and Rick definitely came in at the last minute and got some of the CDs for the car. Now, obviously, if you've got the technology at home with the digital downloads, CDs can be burned to make the CDs, but the CDs that are pre-packaged, pre-recorded, etc., those unfortunately are all sold out on Lono's website, which is really too bad because I never got any of them, and I am a freak for liner notes, and the CDs have the liner notes and the digital downloads don't. Oh no, Serena BR, you've only seen snow once. Where about roughly, you do not need to give your exact location, obviously, but where about roughly might you be? Are you in the tropics? Are you know, up, well, you're obviously not up north in Canada because you probably would have seen snow more than once if you were in Canada. So if you feel like sharing your rough location, by all means, we would love to hear about it. I'm coming at y'all from the Seattle area, and Thomas the Turtle's coming at you from the New York area, but not the Buffalo area, and we're all thankful for that. So let's see here. So, okay, so you're Brazil. Yeah, well, no wonder you haven't seen snow very often in Brazil. And Brazil, obviously, large enough of a country that you can tell me that you're in Brazil, and I will have no idea. You know, there won't be any doxing you because you definitely have a large landmass there to slide into. Yes, there you have it, Brazil. Awesome. You guys, what? Help me now. Help me. Paulo Toth, is that that's the guitar player from Brazil that Andy supports, right? Is Paulo Toth, is that the guy's name? And Serena, I don't know if you've heard of Paulo Toth, but he is a Twitch creator as well. And he okay, yeah, Rick, thank you, Paulo Toth. He is a great guitar player. So if you are interested in a guitar player. Oh, and Fernando Souza, that's right. I think, aren't they both Brazil-based? Yes, I know that Paulo is. I forgot about Fernando. Yeah, so if you're interested in music and you want to support some of your countrymen, we've got Fernando Souza and we've got Paulo Toth as recommendations for all y'all. So yeah, eMusic, thank you for coming in with that. Exactly. So now obviously you're allowed to like music outside of Brazil as well, but you know, it's always nice to support the locals, as it were. And let's see. Okay, so all right, yesterday, you guys, we watched a movie, and Kenny's not here, so I can't thank him for the movie. Yesterday at Statterbox at the cinema, we watched Bears, and my friend Ted, by the way, his username was Say What last night. My friend Ted, who showed up for that movie, by the way, he was a college roommate of mine back in the day. We've known each other for quite some time. He made a comment that he would rather watch horror films than that Disney movie again because the storyline was just so intense. He was just like, Saw wasn't even as intense as that movie, which made me laugh. But it brings me to this next topic, because in this movie, we got to see the mama bear searching for food. And it wasn't until the last minute that, you know, it happened. Well, in the Puget Sound, in the Salish Sea, as we have, as I've called it many, many times, that is the inland sea of the Puget Sound and the inner islands along Vancouver Island. The Salish Sea is full of salmon, just like the bears we're hoping for, and as we've mentioned, a lot of the southern resident whales are absolutely starving for salmon these days. The salmon runs are not necessarily as plentiful as they used to be, etc., etc. Well, we got some good news potentially this week, or last week. Cola T mentioned it last stream or stream before about the all of the little baby orcas that were found that were swimming together in the Puget Sound. Well, as it turns out, it wasn't just the baby orcas and their moms that were swimming together in the Puget Sound. It was actually a rare event called a superpod gathering. And the superpod was almost all of the southern resident killer whales. J-pod, K-pod, and L-pod. All of those pods were hanging out around West Seattle and Vashon Island. And here is a picture of one of the parts of the parts of the pod, as it were. And so you've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just 8 dorsal fins that you can see in that picture. Boom, right there, right? Well, it turns out the reason why they were here is because there was a whole bunch of salmon. And so, yeah, they were really close. I'm actually kind of bummed that I didn't even see them. And so I'm going to see if I can get this little news clip that I'm stealing off the internet, basically, so the guy, the expert who knows more about this can tell you more about this, because this is one of two things. Is what this Superpod group event is. It's either a horrible, horrible, horrible sign that they're super hungry and searching for food, or it's what this guy says. So let's see if I can get this figured out, so we can get the thing, so we can see the thing, see the stuff and see the thing. All right, hold on. Let's see if this works.
Today's group even delayed ferries between Seattle and Vashon Island.
It is just so amazing to see. And the orcas have been moving all around Puget Sound this week, with sightings from Seattle's Elliott Bay near Golden Gardens all the way down south to Des Moines and Commencement Bay. The chief scientist with the Orca Conservancy says it's unusual for orcas to stay around this many days in a row. Dr. David Bain says it's likely because of an increase in food.
There are times that you have so much fish in one place at one time that there's enough food for larger groups of whales, and then more than one pod can get together.
He says a big part of that increase in salmon is because of restoration work being done on the Nisqually and Snohomish rivers. He says it's helped salmon recover after several years of a decline in population. Salmon is because of restoration work being done on the Nisqually and Snohomish rivers. He says it's helped salmon recover after several years of a decline.
For old favorites made healthier, Frigidaire's ovens have 15 ways to cook, like air fry and steam bake, to make life a
Yeah, I know, Rick, there was a bit of an echo, and that was part of my problem. I hope that you guys were able to hear what he was saying. But basically, what he was saying
Rick,
is due to
that was part of my problem.
river restorations for salmon habitat, and due to the fact that the water is maybe a little bit cleaner these days, thanks to a lack of traveling since COVID. And when I say lack of traveling, I mean lack of car traveling and lack of automobile-based waste runoff into the hold on. Automobile-based waste runoff into the Uh-oh. Okay, so is there still an echo? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Fudge. Fudge. All right, I don't know. That sucked. Yeah, exactly. Test 1, 2, 3. See, here's the deal, guys. YouTube went and did funky things, and basically they have locked down. I used to be able to steal videos off of the internet, right? Using a certain technique, shall we say. Well, YouTube went and figured it out. And so I can't do that anymore. So now I have to play straight from the browser, and well, you just saw what happened when that happened. So I was going to play a Lono song using that same method, but maybe I won't. I guess we'll have to see. Either way, what dude was basically pointing out is thanks to increased friendly water habitats for the salmon, there are an increased number of salmon, and the and basically everybody, all the super pods, all the pods, JK and L, they got the word out and was like, hey, the buffet's open down here. And so they hung out for 4 days, which is really uncommon. Normally we just see them for about, if we ever see super pod events in this area, it's because, or it's only usually for 1 day, and then they like skedaddle on out and separate, go their own separate paths. But this was a 4-day event. So this was, as I was saying, the experts actually are like, King 5 had a very positive spin on this story. The first story I read about it had the opposite take of the spin. They had a very, very pessimistic mood about it. So we really don't know why so many were here for so long. Either there was an overabundance of food, or like the mama bear in the movie yesterday, they're starving and basically looking any and every place they possibly could for sustenance. So hopefully the King 5 guy, the expert that was echoey, hopefully his take on the situation is correct. I'm going to be optimistic and say that it is. But, you know, we don't know. And, yeah, same with any species. More food, more fish. Right, precisely. Andre, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Say What, my old college roommate from back in the day. And let's see here. Andre, you're glad that more salmon are coming, or those pods would be holding up the ivers near the water. Give us your salmon and nobody gets hurt. Yeah, exactly. And for those of you who aren't sure what Andre means, if you guys have been around this stream for a long time, you might have heard me mention a local, iconic, old-school restaurant called Ivers, and it is right on the waterfront, right next to the ferry terminal in Seattle. They do serve salmon, and so, you know, if the orcas got wind that there was salmon in that building, the orcas might hold them up. And Rick, wondering, can you hear the orca calls from shoreline? Well, I've never been close enough to be able to hear that, but with some of the videos that we've seen here on this stream that I've stolen off of YouTube, we've seen how close the whales can get to the shore. I mean, they're practically on the shore. So I would assume that, yeah, I mean, you know, don't take my word for it, but I would assume that, yeah, if you're in the right place at the right time, I don't see how you couldn't hear those noises. I mean, I've definitely heard, you know, the distinctive blowhole spray, you know, the sound of their breath. You can hear them breathing, you know, when they are going in and out of their blowholes. And so I think those I would assume that, yeah, you could probably hear the clicks and the calls that they do, but obviously I don't know. That being said, you know I'm going to go down a rabbit hole afterwards to find out the answer to this question, right? Right. And yeah, exactly, Andre. You've seen pictures of orcas snatching seals from beaches. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I've shown videos of that on this stream. And Pussycat, you have hammerheads and tiger sharks coming to feed on the fish. Yeah, the fish bait run every 6 months on the East Coast, spring and fall mullet run. Yeah, and that's the same thing with the salmons. We've got a spring run and a fall run. And then, of course, every different breed of salmon is in their own kind of timeline and schedule. So the seasons are actually quite long. I didn't realize that the salmon season was still in effect. I kind of was under the assumption that the salmon season was over, but according to that UW scientist on the news, I guess it's not over. And for those of you who are wondering, this is a little black cat named Ashes, whose tail just got on screen. That's right, the infamous Ash's tail. You've seen it many, many times, and I'm sure you'll see it again. So, yeah. Let's see here. So now, Rick, when you say you'd like to hear it, would you like to hear the blowhole sound, or would you like to hear the clicks and the calls, or would you like to hear both? And, yeah, Rick, you have the salmon and steelhead runs in the rivers to the Great Lakes in fall and early spring. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Well, I mean, it does, because you're not supposed to have our salmon, but since I know that you do, it doesn't surprise me. But hey, Rick, do you ever, okay, the calls, gotcha. Do you ever, go fishing for the steelhead or the salmon? And most importantly, do you ever catch the steelhead and do you eat them? Do you eat them? Because steelhead, I know they're not a salmon, but steelhead is so flippin' good. I know that steelhead, some people consider them salmons, but as we've discussed on this stream before, they're technically a trout. But steelhead, for those of you who've never had steelhead, if you have an opportunity to eat steelhead and you like fish. Okay, first off, let's rewind. If you like fish and you have an opportunity to eat steelhead, I definitely think you should. Steelhead is much rarer of a fish to find than any kind of salmon. So if it crosses your path, definitely take the offer up and eat that little salmon, or excuse me, that little steelhead, because it's so delicious. And Rick, no fishing for you, but you've had grilled lake salmon a few times. Nice. Okay, I know you're not going to know, Rick, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you happen to know the type of salmon? Do you happen to know the type of salmon that the lake salmon, but you know, like the variety of lake salmon that you happen to get? By any chance, do you happen to know? I know you don't know, but I just still want to know if you know. And steelhead are kind of the hulks of the trout world. Well, no, I don't really know. I mean, if you mean large, then yes. But what separates a steelhead trout from the traditional trouts is most trout don't ever go to ocean water. Whereas a steelhead is a type of trout that actually, like salmon, starts its life in the freshwater, travels down the rivers and estuaries into the open sea, hangs out there for a while, and then travels back to its home lake and or pond and or estuary, river, whatever, side chute, to breed again. And so some people consequently refer to steelhead as steelhead salmon, and that's fine. I mean, you can, but they're not a salmon. They're not technically a salmon. They are technically a trout that lives the life of salmon, so to speak. And so they grow much larger, what with them being in the ocean, and but they're much paler fish. Most salmon, as I'm sure you guys know, are, you know, the more orange fleshed, and they're very they have a much stronger flavor, whereas the steelhead is more like a trout. It's more like a white flesh, although there is a little bit of a pinkish tone. It's, you know, it doesn't really look like salmon, but it sure doesn't really look like trout either. It's sort of a combo of the two. And to me it tastes a lot like a combination of salmon mixed with halibut, and it's so flippin' good. And so let's see here, Poppy Shaney coming in. As a youngster, I caught both steelhead and salmon on the Klamath River. You prefer salmon to eat. The biggest salmon you ever had was a king salmon you caught in Sitka, Alaska. Wow, not surprising. And really, you prefer the salmon. Well, gosh darn it, there, Poppy Shaney. If we ever are at a banquet where we're served both steelhead and salmon, I will sit next to you and I will trade you all of my salmon for all of your steelhead. And that's just how that goes. And okay, so it was coho or chinook that you ate in the lake, because it was those that were planted in 66 to 7. Gotcha. That makes sense. And Pussycat, I think we've talked about snook before here, and I've never had it. But now, is snook... Well, first off, obviously, it sounds like it's more of an East Coast fish than a West Coast fish, because I've never heard of any fishermen on the West Coast talk about those. But how, like, are they little fish? Are they big fish? Do they grow to be big because they went into the ocean? Or how big are they, I guess, is what I'm trying to ask there. I mean, that wasn't a difficult question. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to ask, but... let's see here. Andre, river eel. There's eels in rivers? I had no idea. Okay, let's start this over again. River eel go out to the sea, or out to the ocean too, and gather in the Sargasso Sea. I don't know where that is. Some of those suckers get really big. Let's see here. And Rick, let's see here. Oh, the Klamath dams are going to be some of the... Yep, that's what Rick said. That you can quote me on that. That's exactly what Rick said. Okay, yeah. Rick said he just saw the Klamath dams are going to be removed to help out the salmon runs. Hey, DJ Smoot, good to see you. Aloha. And Terry with his party coming in. Awesome. Thank you, Raiders, for coming on in. Yeah, exactly. Don't quote me. Good Lord, that was painful, wasn't it? Gina, good to see you coming on in today. Right now, we're talking about various and assorted fishies. Where did you think they got the eels to jelly in England? I can honestly say I've never given that any thought. Mostly because I've never heard of jellied eels. Are you kidding me? What on... Okay, guys, this is where we start talking about food. So, tell me about these jellied eels. What on earth? Like, are they eels in aspic? Or... what? Okay, Terry, jellied eels are a London delicacy, but I still don't know what that really means. Okay, so it's eels in aspic. Gross. I mean, honestly, they might be delicious, but for the most part, I will admit I have a bit of a bias against food in aspic. My grandparents were really big fans of aspic salads, and I feel like I'm traumatized by that. So yeah, there you go. And Pussycat explaining that snook are considered excellent game fish. They jump and fight with razor-sharp gills. Ooh, sweet white meat that tastes like lobster. Oh, sign me up. That sounds delicious. Okay, yeah, I know I've never had snook, but I would absolutely give it a try. Speaking of jumping and fighting with razor-sharp gills when you try to catch them, I watched, I don't know why it crossed my YouTube feed, but there was this guy who was fishing with a retractable dog leash. He would put a little bait on the end, a line with bait and hook on the end of the retractable dog leash. He'd throw it out there, and then when he got something, he would just literally just use the retractable dog leash to haul the fish in. And he was catching tons of fish. They didn't look like fish that I wanted to eat, but because where he was sort of fishing in a swamp, so I was like, I don't really know if I want to eat those fish. But they looked like they were tilapia, and they were really big. And no, they were not dogfish. They looked like they were, like I said, they kind of looked like they were tilapia, and they were, they were big. And but 10 to 20 pounds. 10 to 20 pounds for a snook. That's that's definitely worth trying to catch, because that's a good meal. And by the way, Poppy Shaney, thank you so much for gifting a sub to DJ Smoke. And let's see here. Rick talking about the salmon ladders. Yeah, salmon ladders, not only are they expensive, they're actually not necessarily as effective as one might hope. And also part of the problem with salmon ladders with dams, actually it's not the salmon ladder, it's the dam itself. The dams hold back a lot of sediment, and the sediment is vital in creating salmon spawning habitat, both for, where the eggs can be laid, and also creating little estuaries and, offshoots with calmer water where the little babies can hang out and not get swept downstream. So the ladders are kind of a, vague solution, only one part of the solution to the problem, and part of the bigger problem is the dam itself. That being said, as Poppy Shaney said, with the dams on the river, I can't touch that one. It's 50% for and 50% against. People's livelihoods when it comes to water use really do depend on the dams. The dams are a source of incredible irrigation water for areas that are otherwise absolutely arid. So there is a lot of if, ands, or buts to the dam removal topic. That being said, I am all for dam removals in areas where there really shouldn't and don't need to be dams. For instance, the Elwha River on the Olympic Peninsula had 2 dams that were removed a couple years ago, and those dams were not producing very much electricity, and and when you're in a rainforest, you certainly don't need to divert river water for irrigation. So there are some dams that 100% can just get out of there, right? But when it comes to the Klamath River, yeah, that, as Poppy Shaney said, that is something that, not gonna touch it, because this is a good vibes only kind of chit chat, and that kind of conversation ends up in bad vibes real darn quick. Oh yeah. And let's see here. Yeah, dude, seriously, Pussycat. So going back to the doggy retriever leash, he was stunned that it worked, and then he kept doing it, and he kept bringing in bigger and bigger fish. And I mean, maybe it was staged, I don't know, but I don't think it was. And Gina, I don't know if you're referring to eating the jellied eels only out of desperation, or eating those weird fish that the guy caught with the with the dog leash out of the swamp. But you're right. I shouldn't turn my nose up at it, because in desperation, jellied eels might be the most delectable thing ever. And actually, you know, jellied eels might be fine, because as Terry in Scotland pointed out, aspic is kind of the equivalent of that weird jelly stuff that used to come around the Spam. Now Spam doesn't seem to have nearly as much of that goo, but it used to, and that's basically what aspic is. And I love Spam. Even when it had the goo, I loved Spam. So, you know, I just probably would maybe like it, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would be so brave like DJ Smook and actually eat that. And fish Spam, that's the future. I don't know if I like the future if that's the case. I don't know if I want that. No, let's not do fish Spam. No. I refuse. All right, let's see here. Let's see here, have I skipped anything? And that's right, DJ Smoke, you've got the infamous Prel drops back. In fact, let's do some Prel drops because they're just so pretty. Prel drops in the chat. And, DJ Smoke, okay, right, in culinary school, our chef instructors made us eat things we usually didn't. Okay, so inadvertently, here you are now on this chat stream, and you have become the spokesperson for Jellied Eels. So I have to ask you, DJ Smoke, what do they taste like? Like, are they, what do they taste like? I mean, 'cause I don't even know, like, what does an eel taste like? I wouldn't even know. I have never had eel sushi, right? So I really, I don't know the texture. There's so, I don't know. So what's that all about? See, Honda, good to see you throwing down the Prel just in case someone is getting out of line. That's right. And see, Honda, you're here just in time to hear what DJ Smoke has to say about jellied eels, because jellied eels are a thing. Okay, so they taste like a mix of fish and chicken, very savory and strong. Okay. All right, okay. Now, so is it just like chunks of meat in the jelly? Or is it like a cross section of an eel sliced? Or is it a full eel? Or is it an eel fillet? Is there such thing as... It varies. Okay, awesome. All right, so the spokesperson for Jellied Eels for this evening has spoken. Excellent. I feel like I learned something. All right, so we had chunks of it. You had the chunks. All right, okay. Okay, so for those of you who are planning your Thanksgiving feast, yeah, jellied eel gonna be on the menu? Anyone? Because it is that season in the United States where it is incoming turkey time. And yeah, a foot-long eel on a jelly donut. Right, why not, right? I mean, they did say jellied eels. Nope, sorry, no eel, says Darlene. All right. Let's see here. Elaine, oh, your Twitch is goofy, glitchy. All right, well, we are coming at you at 1080p, so if you wanted to maybe lower your resolution, that might help. But you've been around here long enough to know that trick, so I'm guessing you already tried it. But if you haven't tried it, try it. But if you haven't, or if you have tried it, then ahui ho, my friend. We will see you when I'm less glitchy and you're less glitchy and we're all less glitchy. And let's see here. And Andre's saying they have famous... Hold on, that went away, so I have to go down. They have famous jellied eel in the East End restaurant, but the East End is getting a bit gentrified, but it's still a lot of tough places. Gotcha, gotcha. And, okay, and so Terry's coming in. It's chunks of eel in aspic between a couple pieces of bread. It ain't half bad. DJ Smook says we ate ours with Indian garlic naan bread. Well, 2 slices of bread, garlic naan bread. Sign me up for either. That sounds, well, at least the breads sound good. I have no idea if the eels sound good. Isn't it funny, the strange things that, I mean, why is it that it's like, oh, I'll eat a fish that comes from the same place as an eel, but for some reason eating an eel freaks me out? I mean, that's kind of the dumbest thing in the world, right? But here I am, being the dumbest person in the world. Jellied eel in fruitcake. See, Honda, I know where you're going with this, or maybe I don't, but I'm going to go there anyway. I wouldn't put jellied eel in fruitcake, but you know what I would put in fruitcake? Spam. That's right. I haven't gathered the ingredients to make spam fruitcake yet this year, but I have the recipe all made up in my head. And so, and Darlene, I will taste it for y'all, and I will let you know how it tastes. Now, you have to remember, you guys, the spam that I'm putting in the fruitcake is going to be candied. So it's going to be just little tiny chunks of spam that's like coated and covered in sugar and kind of crystallized and caramelized. So it's going to be candied, just like the candied fruit, the dried fruit, the blah, 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 that whole situation that traditionally happens in fruitcake. I actually really do think that the potential is there, because here's the deal. When you, yes, spam fruitcake, DJ Smook, and here you took culinary school, so here, let me run this by you, okay? Okay, so you know how some people, when they make a ham, they put cloves and pineapple and cherries on that ham, you know, and then they like glaze it with, you know, brown sugary stuff. Now, I don't eat ham like that, but I've seen pictures. Some people do. So my logic is a spam fruitcake that has dried cherries, candied pineapples, and then some spiciness like the cloves, but not too much clove because I don't like clove. And then a little candied spam, and then maybe some golden raisins, and maybe some pecans. I feel like the taste profile could actually be okay, right? I mean, see, DJ Smoke, like, I really do feel like it could be done. And I also feel like so many people would just be like, oh my God, that sounds so gross, I have to try it. Like, really, see, Honda, sell them in Hawaii. I kind of feel like once I get the recipe down and, you know, get the spice blend right, you know, because I haven't made one yet, but I've been running through, you know, like how much cinnamon to nutmeg kind of, you know, ratios. But I really do feel like it's maybe not the worst flavor combo that you could have. I mean, here's the deal, you guys. People eat jellied eels. And let's see here. Terry, you used to eat jellied eel and cod roe sometimes. Poor folks' food. I was poor, real poor. And, you know, it's funny, though, Terry, because cod roe, I think now, is not poor folks' food. And it sounds like jellied eels aren't really poor folks' food anymore either. So, like, all the poor people's food is now, like, super expensive. Sort of like with oxtails. Oxtail soup used to be what poor people made, because that's the only bone you could buy for cheap. And lo and behold, now the oxtail is like the most expensive soup bone in the flippin' store, practically. And right, exactly, Andre. Lobster used to be considered poor people food at one time. Yeah. Oh, you're eating sea bugs? Little poor person eating sea bugs. And let's see here. Andre, Andre, I don't think that spam is really gonna make the spammy pudding. I think that was just a joke, right? Because I don't know if you guys have seen the little meme or whatever where fruitcake or spam is coming out with some kind of figgy pudding. I think that was a joke, right? Yeah, it's true, you never know with spam. Because spam does have like about 47 quadrillion flavors, so who knows. Hey, Gina, have a great night, and hopefully we will see you on Tuesday on Daily Pigeon Live with Andy Bumatai. And if we don't see you on Tuesday, hopefully you'll hang out here on Wednesday. And see, Honda, yeah, I think that Andy might eat a Spam fruitcake as well. But before I go send him one, I'm gonna make my own batch to, like, you know, see if it's acceptable. And yeah, candied Spam, that's what I would be using. I wouldn't just be using chunks of raw Spam. Not that Spam's raw, but you know, I would be candied Spam. And you guys, I am not making up this. Candied Spam is actually an official Spam recipe. I got it off of the Spam website. So it's like, who the flying fork thought of candying Spam? Not me, dude, not me. Somebody else thought of it. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, wait. My mind starts thinking of gross things like Spam fruitcake. And candied Spam, I've tried candied Spam. It is pretty good. The key to candied Spam, though, is chopping it up very tiny. So that way everything gets crystallized and coated. Whereas if you have the pieces a little bit too big, there's still spammy texture. So yeah, you want to make it like, you know, like less, I would say like 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter cubes or smaller. So like you really need to make it tiny to get the good candied effect. And it's actually not that bad. Exactly. Andre, they make candied bacon, so why not candied Spam? Precisely. And candied bacon fruitcake might be good too. I don't know if I would do that. However, I have made English toffee with bacon bits in it. So it was bacon bit toffee instead of having ground up almonds in the toffee, you know, or on top or whatever. It was bacon bits. So it was bacon bit toffee. I made it for one of my roller derby friends who was super into bacon, and we yes. Why are we talking about bacon? Well, we were talking about Spam before that, and before that, we were talking about jellied eels in aspic. So why we're talking about bacon is because that's way tastier than jellied eels in aspic. So there you go. Hi, I am Normal25. Good to see you. And welcome to Chatter with Statter. I am Mad Statter, and you are now part of the Statterbox crew. And exactly. No, thank you. I'm fine without jellied eels. That is exactly. I think you share the opinion of most of the people on this stream. Our lives are just great without jellied eels. However, Terry in Scotland said that jelly eels aren't that bad, and DJ Smook also said that they're not that bad, so there you go. And see, Honda, the bacon toffee actually is really good. The key is you have to use bacon that's like super thinly sliced, so because otherwise, like, the bacon fat kind of liquefies and pools in the candy in a weird way that I don't really like. So you need to make sure that the bacon is super crisp, most of the fat rendered out. But yeah, I was really surprised at how good the bacon toffee tasted. You know, if you're ever feeling adventurous, the best, I found that the best bacon to use for that is it's the Oscar Mayer stuff that's like, you don't have to cook it. It's like, they don't even put it in the refrigerator section. I don't even know if you can still get it, but it's like shelf safe bacon, because that bacon is super thin, and it cooks up to just the right texture without too much fat in the candy. But yeah, dude, seriously, the bacon toffee is really good. But then again, bacon on anything is really good. I mean, even toffee. Shoot, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say bacon on jellied eels might even make jellied eels taste good. Or not, I don't know. Yeah, jellied eels in your head is not necessarily the image that you probably wanted, or nor was it the image you probably thought you were going to get by clicking on this stream to find out what it is we're chatting about. No, we are chatting about a lot of absurdities today, and Terry in Scotland, you're all gonna hang out later? All right, dude, I will see you later. And let's see here. Darlene, yeah, bacon is just plain good. And you know what, though? Honestly, the way DJ Smoke and the way Terry in Scotland described the eels, other than my mental block, they probably, I bet you I would probably like jellied eels if I didn't know what it was that I was being served. I really do think that. And so let's see here. Oh, you're a chef, and you don't think you was getting the jellied eels topic so soon in your experience. Yeah, well, apparently jellied eels are quite the delicacy in London, and so who knew? I mean, I didn't, but now we know, and there you have it. And Andre's talking about the bacon that they have in London, and they don't make it crisp enough. Oh, and you live in London. Well, then what am I telling you about jellied eels for, mister? I think you might already know about the jellied eels on the east end of London. And apparently the eels are from the Thames, and frankly, I don't know if I'd want to eat anything from the Thames, because the Thames did not look like a very clean river when I saw it. But then again, I guess, is there any river in the world that's really very clean these days? So I suppose I shouldn't be all oof with that. So let's see here. Yep, there you go. Land, sea, and air. We've got the steak, the lobster, and the chicken. And all those things sound great. I don't know if any of y'all are planning on having a Thanksgiving dinner next Thursday that includes steak, lobster, or chickens, but I am thinking I'm going to make a steak dinner for my Thanksgiving dinner. And hi, I am Normal25. You are in London. You probably know this because America is just America-ing, but on Thursday, we've got our Thanksgiving holiday, so we might wander into Thanksgiving topics in the next couple minutes, because that might be where the chatter scatters, but we never know where the chatter is going to scatter, so we'll see where this goes. Oh no, you actually have eaten jellied eels then. Okay, so you actually know about the jellied eels, and you really, really know about the jellied eels. Got it. Well, DJ Smoke said that they're good, and Terry in Scotland thinks that they're good. But you, on the other hand, have a different experience that that may or may not be closer to my own. My own experience, of course, being that I haven't tried them, but if I do try them, that experience might not be far from my own. Pussycat, you're doing both turkey and ham? Okay, all right, so then my incoming turkey is only half good for you, but we're still going to throw down the incoming turkey for you. So, let's see here. Pussycat, Photoluke has eaten jellyfish poke. Yeah, you know, I saw that episode of Photoluke Hawaii, and even though I'm freaked out at the idea of eating a jellyfish, because you can eat a jellyfish? What? I kind of want to try it. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like, I would definitely not order it myself because I don't know if I'd be able to do it. But, like, I feel like I would want to eat the poke. Maybe. I want to try it. I don't know. I'd have to really see it. But it didn't look that weird or gross when Photoluke ate it. I mean, it just sort of looked like clear noodles, sort of. Oh no, you don't know if it was supposed to be slimy, but it was. That was probably the aspic. And the aspic actually is part of what freaks me out about the jellied eels. Because the aspic, as I'm sure you know, I'm going to insult your intelligence, Mr. Chef, but aspic, in case you don't know, is a form of jelly. I know you know. But I guess it's the aspic that maybe makes them slimy. Please tell me it's the aspic that makes them slimy. And so let's see here. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, exactly. So just the traditional turkey at your house there, Rick. Nice, nice, excelente. And Pussycat, you're going to be eating some raw oysters. Well, it is oyster season. We are smack dab in the middle of the months with R's in them. For those of you who don't know, you should not eat any oysters, fresh oysters that is. You should not eat them in months that do not have an R in them because the water is too warm and you risk getting poisoned. And Thanksgiving is this coming Thursday. Hi, am I normal? Or hi, I am normal. Sorry, I didn't mean to get that mixed up. But yeah, this Thursday is when the states celebrate their Thanksgiving. Canada celebrates their Thanksgiving, I think, in October, so they're already said and done with this. We're late to the game, as it were, and so yeah, a lot of turkeys, and then of course pies. Okay, Darlene. All right, Darlene, tell me about this pie. Tell me about the pies, perhaps, because I'm thinking that you're not just going to make one pie, right? Darlene, you make like 87,553 things. So I'm just wondering what kind of pie or what kind of pies, but either way, what kind of pie? And let's see here. Hi, I am normal. So you're having chicken parm with your choice of wine. You plan food ahead. That sounds delicious, actually, chicken parm. I definitely won't be having that in my house on Thanksgiving because I've decided I want a steak. But if I hadn't already decided that I was going to have a steak, that chicken parm sounds like a really good plan. That sounds really good plan. And, oh, okay, Rick, oh, really? Darlene didn't make the pie. It's Costco pumpkin pie. All right, all right. And then we've got an apple pie as well. Yum-y. And, yeah, see, Poppy Shaney, that's what I thought, too. How many yummy pies will Darlene make? Apparently, only 2. And she's not even making one of them, which is perfect, actually, because why would you make one if you can just get a Costco pie? And, oh, awesome, I can just call you Zach. I just might do that, dude, because when I see the 2 when I look at your username, I want to convert your letters into Hawaiian pronunciations, and my brain kind of gets confused. I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. My brain gets confused a lot, and this is just one more thing that does that. So, Zach, you might be what we call Zach these days. There you go. And Darlene, you didn't cheat this year. You were playing it smart. You can work hard or you can work smart. And, oh, you're from New York, but you're living in London right now. And that would maybe, all right, that would explain why you know about the Jellied Eels. Oh, you have the making for a berry pie. Well, now there, Darlene. That sounds like a deliciousness, but do you really need 3 pies? Are your grandkids coming over? Are your kids coming over? I mean, or is it just you and Rick? Because if it's just you and Rick, you can make the pie and send it to me. That's what you can do. You can make the pie and send it to me. Yep. You throw the leftovers at the kids. There you have it. There you have it. So let's see here. So, you guys, Costco, their pumpkin pie is very good. But apparently, now obviously this is just one person's opinion, but I was, scrolling through the interwebs and I saw I'm going to say it was BuzzFeed, but I don't know. Somebody was comparing 4 store-bought pies, pumpkin pies, and which was the best. And shockingly enough, Costco came in second. And the number 1 pumpkin pie, apparently, which this shocked me, Safeway. According to this one person who tried, I think it was like Kroger brand, Costco brand, Safeway brand, and some other brand that I'm not going to tell you because I don't remember. But they were just mainstream store pumpkin pies. And apparently the Safeway pumpkin pie is actually better than the Costco pumpkin pie, which I found a little bit odd because Costco bakery, for my taste, is usually a lot better than Safeway's bakery, but okay. I guess maybe they know how to do a pumpkin pie right. And so, oh, okay, Darlene, you've got some of the grandkids and the other family is visiting or vacationing in Belize. Nice. So you won't be seeing a couple of the grandkids. Okay, so you will have a big enough clan to perhaps, or bigger clan, so maybe a berry pie is in the works. Let's see here. Rick, stay tuned on the pies, but Kenny Roberts had a funny pie Facebook post today, if I can find it. Oh, I'll have to check. I'll have to go look. I haven't been on Facebook much today, so I'll go check Kenny's feed, because he post. I feel like either he posted it a few days ago and I saw it, because I do remember he had a funny pie thing a few days ago, or he posted another new one today. Either way, I'm going to go look for it, because I do remember a couple days ago I saw one of his, I can't even remember what the meme was, but it was funny. So let's see here. Oh, it had a model car on top of the pie? Oh, okay, no, I think this might be a different one then. There you go. And then, oh, you're going to make some Velveeta fudge just for fun on Thursday? That sounds awesome. No, actually, let me rephrase that. That sounds disgusting, because Velveeta fudge, that sounds horrific. But I happen to know it's actually really delicious. The texture is very soft and lovely. And even though it's Velveeta and you're making fudge out of it, why would you do that? Well, because it actually works, oddly enough. Have any of you guys ever tried Velveeta fudge, other than Zach, obviously? Because it's horrific. I mean, you know, you don't really want to go running for Velveeta fudge, do you? Yes, you do. And let's see here. Yeah, exactly. No, there's no cheese taste. I was going to say, really, you can taste the cheese, because I can't taste the cheese taste in the Velveeta fudge. And let's see here. Oh, it was a model truck doing a donut on a pumpkin pie with whipped cream coming out the back. Oh, I saw that. Actually, Kenny from the Cove showed me that meme many, many weeks ago. And honestly, not only is it kind of funny, it's actually, I thought that was a really clever design. Because, you know, the little whipped cream was the smoke that the wheels of the truck were burning, or anyway, I thought it was very cute. That was very good. And let's see here. Darlene, this is the first time you're buying a pie and not making one? Got it. Okay. So, let's see here. Chicken and waffles. Yeah, chicken and waffles sounds weird, doesn't it? But it's actually pretty good. And speaking of chicken and waffles, I don't know if Kenny from the Cove has told you guys or mentioned this before, but he likes to dip his chicken nuggets in maple syrup. And at first I was just like, well, that sounds weird. But then I was like, wait a second. That's half the point of chicken and waffles, is putting your chicken in the syrup with the waffles. So yeah, if you haven't ever tried maple syrup on your chicken nuggets and you like chicken and waffles, well, there you go. That's what you can do to have a little quick and easy half-fast chicken and waffles. And that's right. Let's throw down. Can I find my half-fast emote? Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Here's my half-fast emote. That's our half-fast chicken and waffle trick. And let's see here. Andre, Velveeta fudge sounds like a prison fudge recipe. No, it's I'm sure it's straight out of the chemical cookbook of Velveeta. No, it is an official Velveeta recipe, oddly enough. And Rick, spam waffle might go good with that spam fruitcake. I don't know if I would. Well, okay, so I know you're joking, Rick, when you say that, but suddenly I'm like, well, now wait. That sounds gross, except for it doesn't. Because some people mix bacon bits in with their waffle batter and then waffle with the bacon bits in their waffle. Are you, you know, picking up what I'm laying down here? So I'm wondering, Spam in the waffle, I mean, you know, why not, right? Why not, right? And let's see here, Zach, that's weird that you make your own, because to me, it's such a pain in the arse, but I have a friend who makes his own almond milk as well. I don't like the vanilla in it, though. I just like the plain. Like, the vanilla is, the vanilla just is too much, man. Too much, man. And, yeah, Pussycat, we should ask Photo Luke Hawaii about Spam and waffles. And right, Rick, yeah, it's small chunks of Spam. How can that not work? Yeah, I mean, okay, so I thought you were joking. I guess you weren't, because you were thinking one step ahead of me. But now we're on the same page. So, you know, Spam and waffles with chicken nuggets and maple syrup. And we'll have blasphemized every bit of the original chicken and waffle idea, and it will still be tasty. And, let's see here. Oh, yeah, no, Zach, you can maybe add sugar if you want. No, oh God, that is just the bane of my existence, is the sweetened almond milk. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No. I mean, I guess if you're gonna make desserts with it and stuff, but like as far as like my cereal or like in mashed potatoes, get that out of my fridge. And hey, the Pit Boss, good to see you coming in from Chicago. Stream hopping and just stopped in to say hi. Well, hello, I'm Matt Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and you are now part of the Statterbox crew. Welcome in. We are talking about Spam and maple syrup and waffles. We were talking about jellied eels, but we got off that topic because who wants to talk about jellied eels? Well, apparently we do. And yeah, oh my God, no, Zach, if you're referring to no sugar in the almond milk, I am on that page 100%. No. Now, if you're thinking about making homemade almond milk versus homemade eggnog, to me, even though I don't like eggnog, I would propose to you that you spend your time on the eggnog, because you can get almond milk that's pretty tasty, but from what I understand, homemade eggnog is so much better than the store-bought eggnog. So now obviously, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but if I were telling you how to live your life, I would say, make the eggnog, man. Make the eggnog. That's my suggestion to you. Not a command, just a suggestion. And let's see here. Hold on. They serve waffles and chicken sandwiches at Pete's. That's weird. I thought that Pete's was coffee. And let's see here. All right, Cindy, got to get going. Hui ho. And so let's see here. Finally, some chat you can dig. Too many teeny boppers on tonight. Well, there you go. We are not a bunch of teeny boppers. And Darlene, do we have time to discuss preferences of pizza? What kind of crust or sauce, with meat or without? Well, Darlene, we've only got 10 minutes. I don't know if we've got enough time, but I would say it is a worthy effort. So let's open up the floor. Are we talking, what do we like here, people? What are we doing with our pizzas? Do we like a red sauce? Do we like a white sauce? Do we like a pan pizza? Do we like that thin crust? If you like a thin crust, do you like it when it's crispy, or do you like it when you can fold it? And see, Pit Boss, of course, coming in. Chicago deep dish, not a problem. That I am not at all surprised to hear that is your method. And Pussycat, you made a pizza tonight. Okay. So tell us about your pizza. And Zach, I know, of course, you have to ask, because if this topic hits the table, then of course this question needs to be asked. Does pineapple belong on pizza? The answer is no. And the reason why is because if you pick it off, the juice is still left. And so it ruins everything. You can't even pick it off. Whereas like a mushroom, it doesn't bleed. So if you don't like mushrooms, you can pick the mushroom off and you're fine. But, you know, so let's see here. You bought a dough? I don't know what a dough means. Sauce, cheese, and pepperoni. Yeah, that's the nice classic. That is definitely the beautiful classic there. And Andre, oh, really? You used to make Chicago pizza as a job. There you go. Well, then you definitely might have an opinion on the right way to make Chicago-style pizza. And, let's see. What are you guys talking about? What is quicker than rum? Oh, gotcha. The eggnog. Gotcha. And let's see here. So, so Darlene, to answer your thick or thin crust, I am partial to a thinner crust per se, but not so thin that it gets crispy. But what I will say is this: any crust that has char on it, because it's all wood-fired, that's the best crust of all. I don't care if it's thick. I don't care if it's thin. I don't care. I don't care if it's crispy. If it's got char on it, I am a happy camper. But then I read what Zach said, and I said I got distracted because you had your fiance tell you that she used to put pineapple pizza with barbecue sauce. Well, that just is not tasty. Actually, you know what? I think I would, if I was gonna have pineapple on pizza, I would probably prefer barbecue sauce, but I don't want to have pineapple on pizza. So there you go. Oh, pizza dough. Got it. Dough. D-O-U. Yeah, you didn't spell it right, which is fine. I didn't hear what I said. What is pizza dough, I ask? Yeah, I get it now. I get it. Words have meanings. Yep, I get it now. Duh. And that's exactly it, Rick. Burn one for me. Burn a pizza, burn a blunt, whatever you got, burn it for me. Because yeah, I love the little bubbly black bubbles on the edges of the pizza crust. Oh, so delicious. And let's see here. Let's see here. Andre, good point. You would have to bake the pineapple and dry it out a bit to make it work in any way without making the pizza soggy. Well, that's true too. Pineapple it kind of like, it's juicy, right? And it does make the thing a little soggy. And I don't really, just don't like it. But here's the bright side. If you're sitting next to me and there's a pizza being served with pineapple on it, guess who gets to have extra pizza? The person sitting next to me, because I won't be eating it, so it's all good. Pussycat, all right, time for a puff. You do that. And Zach, you can burn a cigarette if you want. You don't got to share with me, though. And let's see here. Rick, your niece just got a doe hunting this weekend in the North Woods, but she never said it had pineapples on it. I don't know, dude. Pineapples are really rare in Wisconsin, so I'm pretty sure that it would have to be a tropical deer on vacation in Wisconsin before there'd be pineapple on it, right? Oh, yeah. Andre, caramelized pineapple might be okay. I don't think so because it would bring out the sweet... Okay, let me rephrase that. Caramelized pineapple would be delicious. I would eat all the caramelized pineapple in the world. But on pizza, I'm not so sure I would like it because it would be too sweet, if that makes sense. Because pineapple still, when it's raw-ish, has a tartness to it. Whereas once you start cooking it down, you know, really the sugars start to be sugarier. That's right, sugarier. That's a word, maybe. Yeah, I guess you can just dry it out, but still when the pizza or when the pineapple still got juice in it, man. The pineapple still got juice in it, and so the juice can cook out, and it still gets soggy underneath. But you know what, though? Actually, you know what? I'm a total liar. Now that I think about it, there is this one pizza place in my town called Pizza Gallery, and they only serve deep dish, not Chicago-style deep dish, the boss, but like the West Coast-style deep dish, where the crust is super thick, etc. And they only serve that style. And they've got like this one thing, I think it's called I'm just going to call it the masterpiece. I don't know what it's called actually, but it's got a ton of toppings on it. Like the pizza itself weighs more than 5 pounds. It's a huge pizza, and it's got so much meat. And by the way, meat on pizza is, to me, mandatory. I love meat on pizza, but it's got so much meat and so many flavors that are so salty and so rich. They actually have pineapple on this pizza, and I didn't know that there was pineapple on this pizza the first time I got it. And I was like, oh, there's pineapple. And I was like, well, it's tolerable. I guess I'll eat it. So then the next time I bought the pizza, I was like, no pineapple. And oh my God, you guys, I prefer the pizza with pineapple on it. Like, I never thought that I would ever say that. But this particular pizza, the pineapple actually flippin' works. It helps to cut the greasiness and the saltiness and the heaviness of all the meats, because that is correct, Zach. If I get Pizza Hut, a meat lover's pizza might be an option for me. And yeah, exactly. It's to neutralize the meats. And it really, so even though I just went off on how pineapple should not be on a pizza, I'm a flippin' liar, actually. Like, I didn't mean to lie, but here I am being a liar because I actually knew better. I do know better. And so, yeah, it really, yeah, exactly. Andre, you need the acid and the things to balance. It's not as overpowering, says Zach. That's precisely it, dude. I can't believe that I forgot. So, I guess pineapple does belong on pizza sometimes, maybe. I grudgingly admit. Fine. You're right. Of course, nobody on this stream was like, yes, it belongs on pizza. But me, I'm the only one who's like, no, it does not. Yes, it does. And that's why I'm a Gemini, because I've got 2 people in me arguing about things that don't matter. But, Puzzycat, hold on one second. Who got that 11-point buck? Your brother-in-law got the 11-point buck this weekend. That's nice. That is nice. I'm going to assume that he's going to A, mount the head, but also B, A and B. Let's just stop now. I'm going to assume that he is going to maybe get some dinner out of that, some backstrap, etc., etc. I would like to hope. Because an 11-point buck, that's some serious meat that you can fill a freezer with. And I would like to hope and assume that he's going to fill his freezer with what he caught. And let's see here. Andre, they tried to make healthy food in the school and gave the kids beet spaghetti. Man, I wouldn't eat that stuff either. Yeah, and either did the kids. Yeah, no, that's a little risky. That is a lot risky, actually. And let's see here, Zach. All right, no, that's okay. I needed a foil for my argument. So yes, it belongs on pizza. No, it does not. Yeah, there we go. Love it. And Darlene, right? Exactly. I wouldn't eat the. I'm assuming, Andre, when you say that they used beets as spaghetti, they had like shredded beets as like the noodles. You know, like, because, you know, like you can make noodles out of zucchini. I'm assuming you mean okay, I guess, all right, let me rephrase that. Do you mean the sauce was made with beets, or do you mean the noodles were made with beets? Frankly, your answer doesn't matter. My answer is still the same. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so it was beet sauce on the pasta. That's not spaghetti. And that's just not spaghetti. Did I mention? No, that is not spaghetti. Oh, wow. That's exactly. We are, I think the entire Statterbox crew is going to help you with that curse. It's like, what, do you need a fingernail? Do you need a lock of my hair? Do you need an eye of newt? Do you need a toe of toad? Because I will happily, what do you need for this curse? And so Pussycat, okay, he's in North Carolina hunting now, your brother-in-law, but he got the 11-pointer in the Dakotas 2 weeks ago. But is he gonna, please say he's gonna eat the meat. Please say he's not just hunting for the head. Please say he's gonna eat the meat, or that he at least donated the meat. Please say that the meat isn't going to waste. Exactly, the second you read that beet thing, you gagged. Yeah, I'm not a beet person, and so no. And hey there, Man Cave 4. Your long trek through the Twitch desert finally ends with a quenching sip from Mad Statter's entertaining oasis. Why, thank you so much. I have a feeling I must know you, even though I don't have any idea who the heck you are. Feel as though we might have crossed paths before. And if not, well, I am Mad Statter. Welcome to Chatter with Statter. And if so, hey man, you're part of the Statterbox crew, and you already know that. So there you have it. However, this entertaining oasis is going to have to close up shop because we are a minute past the ending time. But before we close up shop, we've got to wrap a few things up. First off, he's going to eat it. His freezer's going to be full. Pussycat, that makes me so happy to hear. That's exactly how hunters should be. And that's right, I'm telling hunters how to live their life. I'm telling them to eat their things that they hunt. There you have it. Now, I also want to say, Kenny from the Cove gave us this to watch last Saturday at Statterbox in the Cinema. And this Saturday at Statterbox in the Cinema, we're going to watch, here we go. We're going to watch Hunt for the Wilder People, or we're going to watch Hunt for the Wilder People. I don't know how to pronounce this title. However, Andre donated this movie, and it's one of the movies that is by that director that we've watched a ton of movies for. His name escapes me right now, but it's a New Zealand-based director, and I have not seen this movie yet. It is rated PG-13, so I'm not so sure that if your kids are in the room, they're going to watch it or not, but it probably will be fine because it's just PG-13. And he is the director that did the movie Boy that we watched. He's the director that did the movie What We Do in the Shadows that we've watched. He's a very, very, very important director, and his name escapes me, even though it's Taika Waititi. See, I knew it was something Waititi, I just couldn't remember his first name. So yeah, we're gonna be watching this coming Saturday, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Which means, let's see here, 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And that is what we are going to be watching on Saturday. But before Saturday, hopefully we can hang out together, 5 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. East Coast, and 7 p.m. for the Central Time folk on Wednesday for our usual Chatter with Statter. And that's right, Andre, he was also part of the creation of the television show called Reservation Dogs. And if you have not seen the first 2 seasons of Reservation Dogs, I believe it's running on Hulu right now, and oh my goodness, it is so good. So if you've got some time to waste and you want to watch a really great television series, 2 seasons are out. Reservation Dogs, super cool. For sure, people need to check it out. All right. So, thank you guys for hanging out tonight, chattering with the chat, subbing your subs, gifting your subs, throwing down the bits, and all that stuff. Super stoked we had some new friends and family, well, new friends come in that have become family. I hope that we get to see Zach and Man Cave and all the other folks who came in, the Big Boss or the Chill Boss or, the guy from Chicago who likes the deep dish pizza. hopefully he'll be around too. And yeah, let's see each other on Wednesday. All right, y'all. Take care.